Welcome to our shooting range. This morning we're going to talk a little bit about shooting form. Some of you guys that have been in my shooting class might get a chuckle out of this, seeing it on the TV show, because you know what I put you through on the range. But I want to simplify this down and explain a way that we can create a repeatable, stable shooting form situation from the ground in an infield situation that you might take a shot at an animal. So as we know, most of the time that happens from the prone position. Well, a lot of the shooting classes that we do where guys have not been taught a proper technique, I'll notice that a lot of them will shift their body very much out of line of the rifle. And I refer to the shooting mat when this happens, because if you look at this shooting mat, you'll notice that there's very specifically an area here in the pad for your chest and two areas that would resemble a spot for your knees. So when looking at this, it would make sense that being out of line of your rifle is not proper. It doesn't make sense. What works best for us is when setting up for that shot, trying to find an area where you can get your body flat to the earth surface and in line with the rifle. Now, why is in line important to me? Well, it's an analogy. It's like if somebody hit a hammer on a bench next to you, you couldn't help but flinch. Well, so if you're taking the rifle and you're firing that in your own hands, it's important that if you're to flinch or if your muscles contract, it all contracts in a straight form, similar to the way that we ask that the rifle recoil. We want the recoil from the rifle to recoil down and straight through our body. Well, if we can get our body straight, then we're less likely to react in a manner that is going to tip the muzzle to the left or to the right or up or down. Another thing that I like to do is I like to remove the thumb out of the equation. I know that it would appear that this could be called a pistol grip. However, for me, it's not designed to be a pistol grip. I'm not going to grip like this. We've learned over the years, and myself admittedly, that by removing your thumb from here and laying it outside of the stock, what happens is when the rifle goes off, your natural tendency is to clinch. Well, by clinching, you might, if you're on a little bit of uneven surface, you might cant the rifle, twist the rifle. By adding that, plus possibly being off angle to the rifle, you can start creating this domino effects of small fundamentals that add up to big fundamentals when it's talking about placing a projectile on target at say 1,000 yards. So you can see the setup here. So for the sake of demonstrating, I'm going to come into the rifle. I'm just going to come into it straight. So my target is due north. It's right at 12 o'clock. I'm going to slide into the rifle. I'm going to mount it perfectly to my shoulder. And then I'm going to let my chest flat. I'm going to lay my knees straight. I'm going to let my legs come out to the width of my shoulders, and I'm going to rotate my ankle balls down for stability. So by doing that, I can literally just tip the bill of my hat up, and I am visually looking right through the scope. So if I was ready to make a shot, all I've got to do is come in and let that rifle stay right in line. My thumb is out of the equation. My cheek weld is proper. My feet are approximately the width of my shoulders. My ankles are turned down to create a stable platform. Whether you use supported or unsupported makes no difference to me. And I can literally aim on target, execute the shot just like that. That is how we found proper shooting form to be consistent, shot after shot, every single time. Now back to the show.